As another kid is purportedly killed, Iranian demonstrators reject the brutal repression. An 18-year-old was the most recent youngster murdered in clashes in the northwest, according to a rights group, as Iranians held new protests on Thursday in defiance of a crackdown by the government. Since Mahsa Amini died after being detained by the renowned morality police, Iran has been engulfed in protests for more than 6 weeks, and this movement is posing the biggest challenge to the country's leaders since the Islamic Revolution of 1979. In response, the clerical leadership, led by the 83-year-old Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, launched a crackdown that resulted under the arrest of 1,000 people so far in Iran's secretive legal system and resulted in the deaths of dozens of people. Many of those jailed, according to activists, may face the death sentence. The issues for the Iranian regime have been made worse by the custom of having a Chehelem mourning ceremony 40 days after a death, despite the fact that the protest movement shows no signs of slowing down despite the harsh response from the authorities to it. Every time a protester is slain, calls for further demonstrations can be sparked more than a month later. The 40-day celebration for Hadiz Najafi was held in the city of Karaj, outside of Tehran, on Thursday, according to the Norway-based organization Iran Human Rights, IHR, which reported big crowds there. Activists claim that the security forces killed the 22-year-old woman in September. According to IHR, police closed the highway that led to the cemetery in order to stop even more people from going there. Sayed Ali, this year is the year of the blood. They could be heard yelling in a video that was shared on social media, Khamenei will fall. Apparently, another teen was killed. The city of Sanandaj, which has emerged as a key protest flashpoint, was among the locations where demonstrations took place on Wednesday in the Kurdish-populated areas of northwest Iran, where Amini was from. Momin Zankarimi, an 18-year-old Sanandaj resident, was murdered by direct fire from Iranian security forces, according to Hangul. His body was transferred to another village for burial under pressure from security agents, who were concerned that his funeral may spark another protest, the group claimed. Bloody repression. As of Wednesday, at least 277 individuals have been killed by security forces in the national rallies, according to an updated death toll released by IHR. 40 of them were under the age of 18 when Amini's death occurred. Rights advocates claim that thousands of individuals have been detained nationally, while Iran's judiciary claims that 1,000 people have already been charged in connection with what it calls riots. In Tehran, the trial of 5 individuals accused of crimes punishable by the death penalty in connection with the protests began on Saturday. Mahmoud Amiri Moghadam, director of IHR, denounced the show trials, saying, "The charges and penalties have no legal legitimacy and their only objective is to perpetrate further violence and generate public terror." If Iranian courts sentence people to death, Hadi Ghami, the director of the New York-based Center for Human Rights in Iran, claimed it would be a blatant attempt to terrify the Iranian people into silence. Forcible confessions. The state-run Iranian media released a video of Tumaj Salehi, a well-known rapper who was detained over the weekend for supporting the rallies, in which a man claiming to be Salehi confesses to committing a mistake, which activists have denounced as a coerced confession. Article 19 said it was very troubled that clearly coerced admissions were being shared with the subject by Iran's state media. He is presently being kept incommunicado in Tehran's notorious Evin jail under the supervision of intelligence officials, according to his uncle Iqbal Iqbali, who was quoted by the news outlet Iran Wire. Journalists in custody. According to the Committee to Protect Journalists in New York, at least 51 journalists have been detained as a result of the protest crackdown. 14 releases on that date have been confirmed. Bail. The newest well-known person to be detained is journalist Yagma Fashkami, according to his wife Mona Muafi's tweets. Concern is also rising for Hassan Ronagi, a Wall Street Journal writer and advocate for free speech, who was detained in September and is reportedly on a hunger strike while also suffering from 2 broken legs. Vice President of the United States Kamala Harris praised the bravery of the women-led marches on Wednesday and pledged that Washington would strive to have Iran expelled from the UN Commission on the Status of Women. Iran has shown that it is unsuitable to serve on this committee by denying women's rights and brutally repressing its own citizens, according to Harris.